That little story coming up at the end. Okay, folks, welcome to Radio FM88 Australia. You're listening, obviously, and watching the show on the YouTube channels Radio FM88 Australia or Andrena Forrest, or you're on the Facebook channels Radio FM88 Australia or Dreaming the New Dream. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome our two guests all the way from UK, would you believe it? Naturally, at the top of the totem pole is Andrena, and in the middle there, actually, it's worked out quite well, really, because her birthplace, whilst it might have been London, we can actually be talking about India. So to get to England, you have to go via India. So hello, here we are. Welcome. That's my announcement for today's show. All right, Andrena, take it away.
You won't put the music on and the poem.
Yeah,
that's our starting bit. Put that on, please.
Being sold.
Yeah, this is what happens. Where are we? Here we go.
Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Hello, good day. Welcome to Dreaming the New Dream, wherever you are in the world. Today is the 1st of August, 2024, and I've got a plane going over my head a moment, so I'm not sure what this sounds like. So today I'm coming live from the barn on the farm. Because of all the techno different issues, Debs has let me use the barn and I plugged in here. So fingers crossed. I've got the sheep the other side that are all very hot and bothered. So you may hear anything and you may not. So it is my great pleasure to welcome the lovely Jenny Lilley on the show. So welcome, Jenny. It's lovely to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is going to bring. And hopefully we'll get to have some chats with some of you in Australia. Any questions you've got, then I'm here to answer them as best I can. I don't think I've ever done anything like this, so there might be a few little stumbles.
No, but it's a great start on the 1st of August because we're in the 88 Lionsgate portal, aren't we?
Yes.
So you were born in London,
yes,
and your heritage is Anglo-Indian. So born in London, you're in the height of the fashion, the culture, yes, the music, everything, aren't you? So you've had a real good upbringing to where you are now with all what you're doing.
Yes.
So I know on the flyer it says bringing back into the motherland or from the motherland. I forgot what I said now. This is where it links with India, and this is where the color and the vibration and the frequency with all what you do, but also your fashion. So I know we connected, I don't know, maybe within the year to do with the drops, which we'll come back to later on. But you run Sapphire Blue, the fashion house, don't you? It's all your own. And the colours, the fashions and the colours are absolutely stunning. I love what you're doing. So let's start at the very beginning. But if any of our listeners in Australia would like to interested in some of Jenny's clothing over there, get in touch. So anyway, let's start at the very beginning. Whereabouts in London were you born?
So I was born in Acton, which is West London. And then I'm a bit of a traveller, even if it's just in London. I mean, I've travelled extensively in my life, but I've never stayed anywhere for longer than 4 years, apart from growing up in Acton till I was 18. And then every 4 years I've moved after that, and I've always moved to a completely different area, reset myself up, and just sort of carried on my journey in life. I sort of get quite bored with things. So that's sort of my story of, me traveling around all over. I never really settled anywhere. And then my mother came down with a stroke, and she was paralyzed. We lost her in 5 years ago. We lost her. And at the time I was working with another company, in partnership with another company, and we were doing the Indian fabrics. It's called art fabrics, so it isn't actually saris, but my vision, her vision were totally different, and it was fine. So I decided I wasn't going to be doing it anymore, and I was concentrating on my mum's last months of life. When my mother did pass in the October, my dad did say to me, "Are you going to start up yourself now?" And I was like, "No, I don't think I can. I've lost the will to do it." And he said, "Look, you've got family in India. Why don't you just take a break? It's all been a bit, emotional the last year. Go and find yourself and go and create your own company. You've got it in you. Your mum would want you to do it." So that's what I did. I arrived in India in the February the following year. And I just basically went out blind with it, met some of my cousins who I had never met before. And they took me to Delhi. I must have gone to about 100 different workshops, companies, designers. And then I eventually put 3 of them together and said, right, I'll use you for the sewing, I'll use you for the designing, I'll use you for the packing and shipping. And I then created this company. In the first year of doing it, it was great. It was like, I've really got it going. But then the more volume that I got in, they started putting my prices up. And I sort of started losing touch with me actually doing the buying and stuff. And then I met a young guy who then became my buyer. He knew what styles I liked. So I'd go shopping with him when I went over there. We'd probably buy about 100 saris in at the time. And then that would work for the following collection. And then from there, we just created this amazing business. I just could not get it in quick enough. I could not get it in Ibiza, Portugal, Marbella. We had a few in Australia as well, and it just flew. It was incredible how quickly as I said, I couldn't get them in quick enough. I was losing a lot of sales because they weren't getting it in time because it had to come through customs and everything. And I thought that's fine. I'll be prepared for the following year. And then, of course, lockdown hit, and it hit us pretty bad. I'd ordered in 300 items without taking payments because, I thought they're just going to keep coming back, and then lockdown hit. And so I was literally left with, 300 pieces of stock, which was like, oh no, what am I going to do with all of this? I plowed all my money into it. So obviously through lockdown, I was selling little bits, but just didn't feel right in doing it. So it's now just started picking up again probably in the last 8 or 9 months. The orders have started coming back in. I've got a really, really good following of people because the saris are unique. They're one-offs.
Yeah.
Now them from things like vaults, so they would have been on a film set, maybe not even used. Because when we first started, we were going to markets, and we spend most of our time checking for stains or damage or anything like that. Whereas now my buyer that's out there, he's got his contacts now where they're being taken out of vaults. Some of them are 30 years old, or some of them are 50 years old, and they're just stunning.
Really?
Yeah, so they've got, a lot of the saris you see now, they make in, thousands of yards. So you're always going to get probably about 20 saris for the first piece. The good thing with mine is they are unique, and they all do tell a story in a funny kind of way, because a lot of them have been from holy ceremonies, weddings, and when you put them on, you sort of feel that sense of it was being worn for something quite special. When we're sort of known for our trinkets on all of our saris, so on all the sleeves we have the bells and the coins, so so you can't sneak in on a night out. Give you away, chunking out the stairs with them. But I think the nicest thing about this is, like, now, because I don't need to go to India because I've had my buyer now for 5 years, so he'll just ring me and just say, Jenny, look at these, look at what I found. He knows what the style is and the colours. And so now I just literally, when they arrive, we'll do FaceTime of him showing me the saris. But then when they arrive, they look completely different. The explosion of colours, when you actually open it, you're like, oh my God, I didn't realise it was like this. And And the same with a client. A client will choose it. You know, I do a lot through social media, and I do a lot of the shows and stuff. But yeah, when the client receives them, they're just like over the moon. So for me, I always send it out with love and light. You know,
Yeah.
I always bless them before they go. You know, and I've got people that bought for me 5 years ago that say I still wear them, and people just stop me and say, wow. So I get a lot of clients as well that way. You know, a lot of from Australia, people that have gone to Australia that have worn them, Dubai, all places like that all love that little bit of sort of authentic looking fabrics. So yes, I've done extremely well with it. You know, I would like to break into Australia because I really feel like it just hasn't been tapped over there. And also what is happening, you are getting a lot of people copying my designs and what I'm doing, but that's not to say they're not allowed to. But I pride myself on the fabrics that I get are top notch, you know. So there is a lot of, you know, as I say, it's called fabric art, where they're claiming that it's Saris and it's not. It's just cotton with little trinkets on it. But you know, it's open to everyone. Everyone can do what they want to do. But I think for me, it's the passion of it, because it comes from the motherland, you know, and it sort of really meant something to me when I went over. I was grieving, and I almost felt like my mum was behind me.
Yeah, I bet she was.
There, you know, and this is why I called it Sapphire Blue, because my mother, when her father came over for the last time, I think I was about 5 or 6 years old. He gave her a sapphire blue ring, and my mum always said that ring's going to belong to you. You know, when you're old enough, you can look after it; it'll belong to you. And it was beautiful. It was Indian gold. It just had like this sapphire, square sapphire. It was stunning. Anyway, we got robbed, and they took the ring, and my mum was devastated because she never wore it because she was always scared she was going to lose it. So I almost felt like the name just came to me. I was sitting on the beach, and my dad said, "What are you going to call it?" And I said, "I'm going to call it Sapphire Blue." And he went, "Why?" And I explained. He went, "Of course." He said, "Yes, that resonates." You know, so then it became Sapphire Blue. And then my youngest, I was like, "Can I do your logo?" Which was the Hasma hand. And it all just fitted. It was just like, yes. So I just feel like there's so much guidance from my mum behind it. You know, even with the downfall through COVID and things like that, I was running so fast with it. It was like, I probably needed that break, you know, and also it gave me time to sort of incorporate new designs, because my love of Sapphire Blue and the designs that I made actually go back to me being in Ibiza, which was 34 years ago, you know, and it was all boho, it was all unique stuff, a lot of hippie stuff that people have made themselves. They to sell it on the beach, you know, and I'd go to Ibiza and I'd think, oh my God, this is so me, you know, and I loved it, you know, because I was in the club scene. I was always very fashion conscious. I was always a bit different. And so it was, but then I never found anything after that for what, you know, that I could wear from the shops, you know. So a lot of the time I would get my stuff made, you know, and it would be replicas of what I wore sort of 15, 20 years ago. Because I just never had the idea that I could do it myself. I never had the confidence or where to start with it, really. You know, I'd always worked in offices and stuff, and I just found the passion that came from creating these things and, you know, people loving it so much. It was, oh my God, really, do you love it? You know, I didn't have the confidence even to think that people loved it as much as I did. I just thought, oh, I've done it and I'm proud of it. You know, so it just grew the business, and you know, now we do everything. I've even brought into it a glitter ball collection, which is all sequins, but again, it's all from reclaimed fabrics that aren't being used anymore. So it's the end of a roll or whatever. So we've got the club inside of it, as well as the, you know, the day wear, the evening wear, the cocktail wear. But yeah, it all just comes from Saris and just the love of India, and I just think anyone who wears it feels exactly the same, and they wear it. So yeah.
But when you see Indian ladies, I mean, and you see in films, they're always full of color. You don't see them. I'm not a black person or dark brown. I don't do the dark colors. That's my choice. I just love color, vibration, and frequency. But when you see some of these ladies, and they are draped in the most beautiful colors, you know, they really are. And like you say, you don't see, well, you know, not look that much, but many ladies wearing the same. So for you to be unique, I mean, this is what one of the ones I saw, the blue of that. I thought, oh, I love that. But yeah, you know,
so that's our signature. That's called the Sapphire Blue Rada coat. So we've got the Hasmo hand on the back, and that one again, although it's the same blue, every single sari of that is different. So everything on there is, you know, is unique. But that coat now is known all around the world. I've had clients wear it and they go, "Oh my God, you're wearing a sapphire blue. Where did you get it from?" Thinking they bought it on holiday. So that is our signature. That is our signature coat, and that one flies.
That one's nice. That's my favorite. That's Scorpio colors. That one is.
Yeah.
In my voice work. But anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Keep going.
Okay. So these are my three new designs that I brought out. Literally, I've been working on for about 6 months. But again, it's like I try and bring out about three to four new styles every year, because I end up finding I'm doing these big shows, and then I won't say any names, but then all of a sudden I see it in their stores exactly the same. And no. So I have to try and keep coming up with different ideas to make it unique to me first. And I always put on there, you saw it here first, regardless of whether someone else does it. It was here first. So I mean, them three that you saw there, they're my new ones, and they're just so romantic. I haven't seen them yet because it's not quite finished. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of incorporate, you know, the day wear for the races and things like that, but still in sari form, but obviously not as bright and bold. So I'm starting to tone down a little bit with some of my colours. But yeah, it's all very exciting. Yeah, I mean, that's my favourite. That one you can see there, the beige one. That's very.
So is all of these are purchased online, or have you got a little shop?
Yeah, I mean, what I tend to say to people is go onto my Facebook group or my Instagram. Just send me a message. I like this one. I'll send it out with the price and if it's still available. A lot of the stuff, you know, it sells out pretty quickly, because a lot of the stuff I make for clients. So they'll say to me, I'm going away, so can you do me 10 pieces? I mean, all the fashion shows that you see here, all the sizes that I try to make is universal sizes. So it can fit anyone from size 8 to size 16. And it looks completely different on each size, you know. So someone might say, oh no, you know, something you buy and it can look really good on a size 8 and the rest of you just looks like a bag of potatoes on you.
Yeah.
You know? But the way that I've designed them is so that it complements any size, shape, height, you know, and it's universal.
That's nice.
Yeah, so yeah, this is my new design. This one, I'm so happy with that.
Yes, so it's so colourful. And it's really nice.
Yeah, so I mean, again, that's nice for weddings or, you know, cocktail days out or in the sunshine. It would look amazing in Australia.
Especially in Byron Bay. I'll get I did message one friend, but I'll get in touch with a couple of more later.
Yeah. So this is the process. So they've started it short, you know, and then they've obviously carried on with the layers, but that's the workshop. That's another thing I do. I'm very transparent with, you know, how they're made. So on a lot of them, you'll see the step guide from them picking the fabric to cutting to making to packing. You know, and I think that's really, really important, because, you know, a lot of what goes on in India isn't ethical. There's a lot of sweatshops and things like that. So for me, I had to show that, you know, this is a family-run business. So I know that I'm helping them. You know? And as much as sometimes I don't need to order any more stuff, I tend to, because I think, oh, I haven't given them any work, you know. So it's keeping a lot of families in India, you know, in food, in school and things like that. So I'm sort of very, very proud of that, you know, that, you know, and as I said, I've only changed company once. So there's the Hasma hand you can see on there.
Yeah.
That I only done once for someone because she begged me, because usually that hand only goes on the blue. But she was insistent, and she was traveling around the world. So I said, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, fabulous. So like when you design them? So do you sit there doodling? Have you been to art
Yeah,
school?
I mean, to be fair, no, I've got none of that experience. It's usually me going, can you take a bit of this and a bit of that, and then do this and then do that, you know, and then we amalgamate it together. I usually get through about 3 or 4 samples before I can, because I'm very, very finicky. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it might look great, you know, what we see here, and then I'll receive it and I'll be like, no, that's still not right.
Yeah.
So this now is the glitter ball that you can see here. So this is really fun and funky, you know, lots of Indian silks, feathers, you know, that this is really for like festivals and
that's nice.
Yeah. So, you know, and then obviously, you know, well, however you want to wear it. So, and again, you know, we go from all ages. I mean, this is Monique,
nice.
my model. Yeah, that again is the glitter ball. But she was 17 when she first started modelling for me. I mean, she's absolutely stunning. But yeah, so we just tried to make everything fun. So even with the Sari stuff, we've incorporated sandals as well with another company. Again, this is the glitter ball. So yeah, so it's just, you know what it is, I think for me, because I've had such fun in my life, everything I wear, I want it to be fun. This is the most boring you'll ever see me. You know,
excuse me?
Yeah, but I'm saying for me, because usually
I'm only joking.
You know, but you know, it just works well, and it works well for everyone. You know, you put the clothing on, and the first thing everyone says, I just feel so happy when I'm wearing it.
I bet.
You know? And I think because they get compliments wherever they go, you know, for them it's like, you know, it builds their confidence as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done really, really well. And also we did the men's range.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's the men's range. So that's just like, again, funky, you know, great for Ibiza, you know, put a bit of colour.
Yeah.
You know, I've just got my partner to start wearing it. He's like, I'm not wearing that. I'm like, yes, you are. You know, he's a Fred Perry in jeans and Adidas trainers, you know, and all of a sudden I'm putting pink t-shirts on and the pink shorts.
Oh, God, I love it.
But yeah, you are. But yeah. So yeah, so again, you know, it's just finding things that, you know, people love. Again, you can see this is us picking the fabrics, you know, and then deciding what we're going to do with it. Because a lot of the time I buy bulk in, because now I don't need to go to India. I mean, I'm going to go, but I haven't been since lockdown, because I do everything remotely now, and because they know what to do and what not to do. I don't have that expense of going out there. So, you know, I will be going out there hopefully February of next year. We do a lot of shows in Ibiza as well. You know, it all goes down well in holiday destinations and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, for the Aussie listeners, where's Ibiza? We're talking in Spain or?
Yes, Ibiza. It's the Balearic Islands, and it is mad. It's
I went there many years ago. About 10
anyone that likes to party goes to Ibiza. It's just
pick up joint
experience. It's an experience.
So you haven't got much in the men's range yet?
I have, and I can make it. It's just I've done all the shirts about 2 years ago, and I sold out. I think I bought in about 50 of them and I sold out. And then I was sort of putting things up, and people weren't sort of biting on it. So I just thought, you know what, for the time being, leave it. But, you know, I've had lots of guys that are going away saying, Jenny, can you make some linen shirts or, you know, linen sets, which, you know, I can happily do that.
Of course, the Indian gentlemen, and they would wear more of these colourful, you know, fabrics, wouldn't they? You know, but then I think, they've got the sun there all the time, so it's a bit different to here, like, you know, looking colourful when it's.
I mean, when I started the company, a lot of the companies that I went to wouldn't cut the saris. They said it was, you know, it was almost blasphemy to cut a sari.
Really?
Turn it into Western clothes. So I had that hurdle for the first sort of 6 months. You know, they started, a couple of companies that I start with, they started doing it. Yeah, that's the logo piece. They started doing the work, and all of a sudden they were told that they shouldn't be doing it, and so we ended up having to find another company. But now, of course, everyone's doing it. You know, now you go to the markets. That's another thing. You'll never find my stuff in the market.
No.
While I'm here, anyway. Well, yeah, but you know, it's like anything. They see an opportunity that something's doing well,
yeah,
and they'll mass produce it over there. But they're mass producing it not with the fabrics that I'm using. So I've never felt like, oh, look, they're copying me, because I just think, well, I know what mine is. Mine's class. So it's all been a learning curve. But it's just trying to make everything unique so that if people do copy
you've
it,
done that, certainly, haven't you?
yeah.
And you're not
people ring me and they text me, go, oh my God, Jenny, such and such are doing your stuff. I'm like, don't even show me. Do you know what I mean? I don't even want to see it. Just let them do what they've got to do. It's going to be a season and it's going to be gone, you know, and it's not the same fabrics. It's mass produced, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, I just let it go with the flow. I just think I've just got to let it go and just think of something else to create. So, you know, I tend to now, whereas before it was just sort of summer stuff, I've started doing like winter stuff with the velvets and things like that. So, yeah, so I've done some really, really beautiful handmade pieces, which have also all been done by hand. All the bells, all the trinkets, everything's just been done by actual hand. So they take a little bit longer. They take about 3 weeks to do.
Because I know when you said about when you make your one size, you know, I've gone into some places and it's one size fits all. And I says, well, that's all right for the medium sized person. But when I go in, I'm lost in it, you know, and I think, well, one size don't fit all.
Yeah. I mean, I make it extra small because some people don't like that roomy fit. So,
no, I don't.
You know, whereas it is supposed to be worn quite loose and quite flowy. But, you know, I do make for extra small, and I make for people that are 5'2", you know, and things like that, because they do come up quite long because people wear them with wedgies or whatever. So, you know, I do accommodate for most people. But, you know, if I'm doing made to measure, then that's usually for a client. But I try not to veer too much on that unless they're a client that I know is, consistently buying. Then I don't.
Are these pajamas?
No, that's a little play suit.
Jeffrey, please be quiet. It's a play suit, not pajamas. God.
Yeah, it's a little play suit.
That's
I'm not sure how it would look on you, Jeffrey, but yeah, it's a play suit.
No, that's really nice. I like that.
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? Yeah. Things like that sell like that because it's just easy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
It looks like a house thing.
Yeah.
Do you wear this outside or what? Around the pool or what?
To be fair, a lot of the silk stuff, people go, oh, is that nightwear? It's like, well, yes and no. You know, it's if you want to flow around the house in it. I mean, in lockdown, it was great because I had all this stock that I hadn't even opened. And of course, I was putting on things daily and just doing little, you know, videos on, oh, look, I'm not here, thinking someone's going to buy it. And everyone's like, I've got no money. What's going to happen to the world? You know, so I tried to make light of it. But yeah, I've still got like a room full of stuff, which now I've had to put a stop on doing anymore.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because it's just getting ridiculous. Yeah, but these are so cute, you know, all these dresses, because they're just, you go in the light with them. I mean, people walk on the path and they can see it all glittering in front of them, all little stars glittering.
Yeah. You
know, and they love it. It's and as I said, 'cause it's got all the little bells and that on it.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that you've got all that on, you know, it's extra special things, isn't it? It's quality that makes a difference.
Yeah, and we're known for it, you know, so it's like it is sort of our little benchmark now where people see the bells and the coins and they know it's one of my pieces. So, you know.
Okay, this is mere male. Yeah. The mannequin is darker.
Yes.
Does that accentuate the color of your clothing as opposed to
I think
color?
Yeah, I suppose it's just showing the fabric off better, really. But yeah, there's no reason for it being that color.
No, just a mere male. So on Queensland's Gold Coast, where the girls start to get a suntan, these type of outfits would.
They just look amazing with a tan. You know, when you've got a tan and you've got the golds and you've got the silvers and you've got the turquoise, you know, it's stunning. I know in Australia you've got Camilla, haven't you? That's like a huge clothing company, which is I mean, that's who I followed her for many, many years. But she's
That's
sort of going
nice.
down the line. Yeah, these are really, and these look great with little white jeans or shorts. You can dress them up or you can dress them down. That's what the nice thing is, or leather pants, or in the winter. Even though you can wear that in summer, you could wear that in the winter with some nice leather trousers or things like that. Yeah, those fly out.
Do you have to make any children's, like if you're doing?
I started making children's when I first started. And
Nice.
I've got a few little bits now. The coats I made and some little dresses. But to be fair, it worked out so expensive, and for how long they wear it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It wasn't. I felt guilty charging £60 for a coat like this for a child. Whereas people would buy it, but it was just one of those. It was, it didn't make business sense to make them unless you were making them for a family that they could hand it down to. Then it was more work than anything. But I have got some pieces here, but I'll be saying that's my grandchild that's coming along.
You've got this on. I mean, you've got some beautiful stuff. I haven't looked because you put a lot on Instagram as well, and I got taken off of there a year ago, and I just haven't bothered to go back on.
Yeah,
these are to my patience. But yeah, they're really stunning.
Yeah, they've got some nice pieces, and as I say, all those, they're just
definitely
beautiful.
Byron Bay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And they're just so romantic and flowy. And as I say, when people put them on, they just transform. They're just like, they just want to dance and they want to, flow around in it because that's the feeling you get when you're wearing it. They're the bells. So yeah, again, I'm very transparent. I show everything, maybe a bit too much sometimes, but but it just shows so that people can see, where it's coming from and what we're doing.
Yeah. So how big a team have you got working for you now?
I've probably got about 11.
Good number.
Yeah. So, it is actually, yeah. So you can see mostly men. What is
that? Yeah.
I just think, they seem to be more meticulous with their sewing and things like that. Even though women are known for sewing, they're just, I've just found them to be really, really good. They just get on with it.
Less chit chat.
Hey, yeah. Hey, males.
Yeah.
Our eye spectrum is pretty blasé in the sense that we've probably got about 16 colours.
Yeah.
So you might point out this is red.
Yes.
You guys might say that's saffron or that's Buddy citrus
yes.
or that's rose. And it was only when I had cataract surgery, and then they pluck your thing and put the new one in.
Yeah.
And I remember the ophthalmologist nurse rang me up and said, "How's it going? Everything all right?" And I said, "You tell Dr. Mark he's given me a female eye." And and then I told her the joke. I said, "Now I can see all the different shades of red, all the shades of green, all the shades of blue. Now I understand why when you go into a B&Q or Bunnings, you got all those color plates, for painting the house or inside and outside, and girls can see all these different colors. Us guys pretty blasé about it, but now I understand. But that's my question, I suppose, is these fellas are in there and how they've got an eye for color. I mean, I would have thought that would be more the female thing, but you said your male.
Yeah, to be fair, I did work with a couple of female buyers, and it was they were looking for too much. Do you know what I mean? I felt like they were looking for perfection overload, whereas with my buyer that I've got in India, he literally goes out and he knows that I want sparkles, he knows that I want color blends or whatever, and that's what he goes for. He doesn't go for what the end result is going to be. I leave that to the pattern masters, so I can see, because usually it's six yards of a sari. And what I tend to do is the back end of it will just be clear, but the front side will be all the embellishments. and then it's down to the pattern master, depending on me. That's me there. That's me on the left. Depending on what the fabric is, they've then got to incorporate it so that all the sparkles are on the front or over the breast area or over the bum area, you know, so it's really down to the pattern master to make it great. But yeah, there's one of my rails full of colours.
That'd be right up my street with all them
colours.
colours.
It's like a ladder's cave. I've got some
I
people.
bet.
Some people just ring up and say, "Can I just come round and try something on?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on, come over." End up walking out buying something, but yeah. Oh,
there she is. It's nice colours though, isn't it? It's not they're all light and bright and vibrant. They're not heavy like, you know, some. No. I mean, sometimes I put something on and I can just, you know, it's gone.
Yeah, and also as well, they're so, you know, because you've got to remember they're worn in heat. Do you know what I mean? So they have to be cool. You know, so when you put them on, people go, "Oh, it'll be really hot in that," and you're not. You're actually really cool. I mean, the hardest colours to get in old vintage sari is black and white. You know, it's almost impossible to get them. So when I get a black one, I'm like, "Oh my god," you know. But I mean, I do use new saris, but they're usually for the more upmarket client who don't want the vintage, they want new. So it's not I don't do new, it's just I prefer not to, because I want to use what we've already got rather than it going touch short in landfill. So
well, yeah, amazing. No, I mean, that's a stunning collection. So like I said, I've only seen a few of what you do, so this has been...
come over and try some on, aren't you?
I will, definitely. Yeah. I'll have a field day.
Yeah, I know. Most people do when they come in. They like that. And you know what the best thing about it is, because people forget, because they're so vibrant and they're so in your face, people will come one year and they'll go, oh, I'll buy this, but, you know, no, there isn't anything I really like there. Then they'll come back the following year and they'll buy 10 of something.
There you are, Jeffrey, one for you.
There you go, Jeffrey. There you are. Look, there you are, sampling it.
I know, I had to look for that one.
That was a friend of mine on her honeymoon with her husband, and he put it on just to show that men can wear it too. Yeah.
You know, the colours, lovely. And I mean, your mum, you know, I know like you had a sad ending, and, you know, and to lose a mum, you know, your mum's your best friend. It doesn't matter whether you're in touch with your mum or not speaking or whatever, she's still your mum regardless. But I mean, the gift that losing the ring, you know, the gift that she's given you for this is incredible, more than you would have got from wearing a ring, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly 1000% believe that my mum is driving this company. As I said, even with the lockdown and me being put on hold, I was running myself rugged. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to get it all in, and you know, I think she put a little hold on it and said, "Hold on, come on now. You've got to slow down a bit." You know, money was going through my hands like nothing, because it was new, and it was like, "Oh my god, I love that one, I love that one."
Yeah, I can imagine.
I had 300 pieces, you know, but as I say, it's just gone down so well. We had it in CR7, which was Ronaldo's store in Portugal,
right?
So we sold in there really, really well. And then obviously they closed down after lockdown, so we didn't read into that. But yeah, everyone that just wears it loves it, and you know, and I forget half of the stuff that's gone out there, and then all of a sudden I'll get a picture from someone saying, "Look, all your stuff," and everyone notices. I'm like, "Oh my god, I forgot I'd done that one," because you just forget, because it's in and out. And as I was saying before, I completely forgot what I'd saying, but I'll have clients that come back the following year. They'll come back one year, then the following year they'll come back and they'll buy 10 of exactly what they saw the year before, and said there was nothing that they liked there, because you just it depends what mood you're in, what's going to
totally
you know. So they're coming with, you know, "Oh, I want pink, so I want this," and then the following time they're going to come, "I just want some nice stuff," and they end up going away with loads of nice stuff. So it's all been good.
God, you know, I'm looking at these photos here. You know, James Bond has License to Kill.
Yes.
Use the name License for Romance.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very romantic. It is very
pretty sharp, isn't it?
And in Australia, these would go down so well. You know, as I said, you can wear them beach-wise, you can wear them with jeans. You know, I put them on with jeans. You know, in the summer months, I go out in the evening with a little white t-shirt, nice shrug over the top, and you know,
I bet people must stop you all the time and ask where you got it from.
Oh, all the time. And my clients go, "Oh my God, Jenny, people knew what I was wearing," you know, and they love it because they're getting compliments. I mean, Jamaica, a client of mine went to Jamaica and she literally got stopped 5-6 times a day. You know,
Wow.
so I'd actually given her cards because she went somewhere before, and she said, "I got stopped so many times. Give me some cards." So I actually gave her some cards. So I got quite a few clients through that way as well. You know, and all the models love wearing them. When I was in Ibiza, all these girls you see are in Ibiza, I'll wear it for you. I can put it on my Instagram, you know. So I got quite a lot of free advertising as well with it because they just wanted to wear them. So
yeah,
it's all been it's been good. I feel like everything it's just flowed with it, really.
Right.
It really
wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. So for people that can see all your sunglasses on the side.
Yes. That's my son's company.
Yeah. So I forgot to say, because congratulations to your family, because you're going to be a grandma or a nanny.
Yes, I know.
So
she's going to be, if it's a girl, she's going to be dripping in sapphire blue. I've already got my head, you know, sort of all these little designs that I'm going to have her running around with bells on. But we'll see what happens. It might be a boy. And he'll still wear them.
Yeah.
When he comes around here, he'll be dressing up in them all, I'm sure.
Right. So, because I know you do lots of other things. So what else would you like to, because I don't know how you sleep at night, because you're traveling, you're doing your modeling stuff, you're doing the drops, and you do other things. So share a bit more about your life and your inspirations.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I like to do anything that brings joy, health to people, you know. So I came across the liquid gold drops. It must have been 2 years ago. I'd seen them, and I was suffering with non-sleep because I was working in 3 different time zones. I had India, I had England, and I had the USA, because I've got a dietary company as well, which is the Skinny Patches. So I was working 6 hours this side, 6 hours that side. I'm in the middle. Everyone wants to start at 9 o'clock, which would end up being my 2 o'clock in the morning. So I had real bad sleeping issues, and I've had it for about 15 years. I discovered the drops via Facebook. I'd seen, you know, all these marvelous testimonies. I kept trying to get them in the country. Everyone was going, "No, can't get it yet." Anyway, eventually it came into the country July of last year, and it has just flown. I mean, you can't really see it because there's not a lot in it, but basically it's these. Oh, that's still on it. So it's just drops, okay? And what it is, it's curcumin drops, which is derived from the turmeric root, okay? So that's where the healing power is. It's in the curcumin, not in the turmeric. And what they've done, they've extracted it, okay, and then they've nanobiotechnologied it, which basically means they've brought it down to the finest nanoparticle. So when it hits the body, it literally flushes straight through the bloodstream within 5 minutes. Standard turmeric lasts 1 to 3 hours in the bloodstream. These drops last 24 hours. So, you know, it's been proven through the testimonies. It's helped people with arthritis, anything inflammatory is a disease. So anything from sleep to high blood pressure to, you know, body swellings, inflammation, injuries. And I've just done phenomenal with it. I think I'm on about 1,600 bottles I've sold worldwide with just starting it. And now I've got like a team of 207. So it's all playing into the Indian thing again, because
of course,
it comes from native India. So, you know, and they've always believed in it, you know, and it actually comes from one of the gods. One of the gods gave them the golden powder, which was about abundance and health and wealth. So again, I feel like I've sort of gone into something that relates back to my heritage, and that's probably why it's going so well, because I just think, I'm not saying no one else is doing well, far from it, but I just think because I'm leading with my heart with everything that I do, and it's coming from, you know, where I'm from,
Yeah.
I think that's why it's doing so well, because I'm doing it with the passion from India. So so I'm doing
that's how I met you, because I'm under Sequoia, and I mean she got me on it because I was in an accident, couldn't walk, trauma, you name it, etc., etc. And she kept on, get on these drops, and I did, and I haven't looked back since. So I know a couple of times I was stuck in asking things because of course they were all sleeping. Zones. And anyway, I reached out to you, so here we are. So thank you for your help and support. So
that's okay.
and I thought, well, it'd be nice to do an exchange for you to come and share what you're doing, like, you know. So, and I know you've set up 2 amazing groups. You've got one for the dogs, all the pet testimonies, which are incredible.
Do you know what? I love doing the pet ones. I've been making gummies for them. I've been doing the pet shows, you know, because I think I prefer animals to humans, really.
Yeah.
I tend to sort of gravitate to the animals rather than humans. I'm like, if I see too many humans, I'm like, oh, I'm not going in there. But if I see loads of dogs or puppies, I'm like, come on, let's go. Here we go.
And you know that the animals don't lie, you know.
Yeah, well, they don't have placebo either. You know, with us, we can say, oh yeah, I feel better. You know, whereas an animal, I mean, I've seen some great results through the animals on my page, and that's with people, dogs that literally have been dragging their back legs behind them for 2 years on their last legs, excuse the pun. And after 2 days they're upright and they're running around the back garden. You're just like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
you know, so it's great. And people tend to spend more money on their animals than they do themselves.
They certainly do.
I mean, I've done a couple of fairs. They haven't even asked what the price is. They've just said, oh, I'll have one of those. And I'm just like, do you want to know how much it was? Like, well, no, it works, doesn't it? I don't care. But as soon as you say,
that's right, it's cheaper than the vets. I mean, I've had people say, I've spent thousands at the vets, and then sorry, there's a birdie nesting in there. All right, a little young or a dove, I think it is. Anyway, sorry, I thought, what's that up there? I love the drops, and for me, I'm the walking testimonial. I just wish it had helped me with my technology skills.
Oh, listen, you talk to me about them. I'm still and there's no way, and this is what I mean about how much I've grown in a year. I didn't start doing Zooms until 8 months ago. Everyone was going, you've got to start doing Zooms, you've got to start doing TikToks. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? The fear was just there. And now, I mean, I've actually succeeded, I think, on this today.
Excellent.
And on Zoom now, I love doing my Zoom weeklies. And, you know, before I was just like that, you know, wouldn't say anything and literally hiding under the table, you know. And I started doing it 8 months ago, and now I prefer it because I like to connect with people. You know, social media, it's great, but you're not having any interaction. And I think this is why I started doing the shows for the drops and for Sapphire Blue. Because you have interaction with people. And I think what happened in lockdown, we lost that. You know, we lost that communication with people, and they just made it so easy for everything to be done online, and we're just losing human contact. And I just think human contact is so important for all of us, you know, because, you know, we need to feel people. We need conversation with people, looking in their eyes and things like that. You know, I just think authenticity in people isn't seeing someone on the screen. It's having face-to-face interaction with them.
Yeah, and having a hug.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm a hugger. You know, the amount of people I go to, like, hi, and they're just like, ooh.
Yeah,
it's like,
don't come near me.
You know, and I'm just like, just come here, come on. You know, but I love it. For me, that's, you know, and I think that's another thing about the Indian heritage as well. You know, they're very generous people. They really want to serve you, and they really want to please you. You know, I mean, I found it quite difficult when I went to India for the first time, how much they looked after me, you know, down to, you know, let me clean your shoes and let me do. I'm like, no, you know, leave that. You don't need to do that. Mom, come on, we'll do it. I'm like, no, just leave it. You know, because they're just so over generous with you know, trying to make you feel, you know, looked after. You know, you never go hungry in India. You know, I know there's poverty out there, but they don't go hungry. You know, there's always someone there that's going to offer you food, or, you know, somewhere in their yard to sleep. You know, a lot of the homeless people, a lot of the churches out there, they actually open their churches at night time for the homeless to sleep in. I mean, could you
And
see
so
that
they
happening?
should.
Do you see that happening in the UK?
No, Christ! They lock the bloody gates, so
They lock the doors, you know, and I
so
think
people
that's
can't
what,
sit in the courtyard or on the
yeah,
grass.
yeah. So, you
Anyway,
know, all them
we
sort of
won't go
things.
there.
No. So all those things, it's nice because you sort of, you know, that they just want for you to feel cared for. And I think that's really quite important in this day and age, you know, that even if you're going through a bad time, there is always somewhere you can turn to.
Yeah. So I heard you say about skinny patches, and I know a lot of people will want to know about your skinny patches. So I think you better enlighten us about skinny patches.
Right, hold on. Let's get another little advertisement in, shall we? Where are we?
Go for it.
Okay, so have I got any here? Okay, yeah. So as you know, Andrena, I love my keto because that's the only thing that keeps my weight down. It's the only thing that gives me energy. It's the only thing that I personally feel suits my body. And obviously, I mean, I'm 56 now. I'm going through the menopause. So for me, weight gain, I went from being a stick insect 4 years ago to now just, you know, whatever. So this is what, can you see this?
I can, yeah.
So basically,
do they go on your fat spots?
So no, all it is, it's a patch, and you just put it on. Yeah, it's a little patch,
right?
And you just pop it onto your body here. Have it on for 3 days, yeah, and then basically it breaks down the fat in the body with a controlled diet of keto, so it works alongside your diet, and. You know, I lost 2 stone 3 pounds on my first round. It's 30 days.
Really?
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. So, you know, so I'm doing really well with that. Again, it's come off a little bit because everyone's on the Ozempic and everything like that. But I think that's a fad that is going to die out soon because with this, you know, it does stay off. You know, if you stick with the keto, then you can maintain it. And I've done really well with that. I've done really well in lockdown because obviously that's when I started it. It was the beginning of lockdown. So a lot of people put on weight and that. So I've done really well during lockdown. It's calmed down a bit now, but it's one of those things that people keep coming back for more because, you know, they've gone on holiday or they've gone off.
So do you want to, for people that don't know about the keto diet, do you want to give a little, because I know you put all sorts of recipes up.
Yeah, so I'm a really good cook. I've loved cooking. My mum was a terrible cook. Okay, so by the age of 14, once I learned how to cook, that was it. I never ate one of my mother's dinners again. You know, even she stopped eating her own dinners. You know, it was like, because when she was in India, she had they're called ayahs. They're not called servants. They're called ayahs. So they done everything from them, from dressmaking to cooking to cleaning. They done it all. So when my mum came here, she had no experience of how to cook, how to clean, how to wash, because it had all been done for her. And so she never did it. She still didn't do it, you know. So even feeding the kids, it was like, oh, just have a fish finger, or, you know, the wool burn, or, you know, the worst food you could eat, you know, and it was still burned. But anyway, I learned to cook. And then as I got older, I started then wanting to look after my body. So I started cooking. I started incorporating cooking into healthy life. So that's my son. So yeah, so that's the boys wearing them. They're the shirts that I made.
It's a nice one.
So with the keto, it basically is 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carbs. But carbs as in vegetable carbs. So you literally leave out the pastas, the bread. It's low carb. And it just drops off you. And I just think the energy benefits from it is wild. You know, my energy levels being on keto, so if I had carbs, if I sat and had a pasta now, I'd be like that all day. Ooh. Yeah. Or anything, you know, or bread, or, you know, and you're just never hungry on it, you know, because you're storing up with fat. You know, the fat basically, you know, unless you're really hungry, then, you know, sometimes I've gone 2 or 3 days without eating, and I just put it down, so I'm having a fast. just make sure I drink loads of water. But yeah, I think, with keto, I definitely think we've all been programmed to say fat is bad, and this, but, I think we realise now what's been going on. So I think now anything they say is bad, I literally run for it rather than run away from it, because it's usually a trigger to say that.
Yeah, no, I've seen like you when you do all your different dishes. And I
Yeah.
thought, God, you're a goddess on every level.
There's some things I'm not good at. I can't dance. I can't dance at all. I've got two left
I shouldn't
feet.
worry about it when you wear your lovely designs.
Yeah, exactly. That's I'll cover everything up so you can't see my two left feet.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
we just had a compliment up from somebody. Can you put that? Lisa Thomas, good morning. This is such a great collaboration. I have a beautiful vintage sapphire blue dress and jacket, which is made with such love, and I wear with pride. How lovely is that?
Ah, that's lovely, Lisa. One of my clients.
There you go. So, yeah, that's nice. So
yeah.
So anything else you'd like to share? And Carol says low fat diets usually equal high fat bodies.
Low fat diets do, yeah, because they're full of preservatives and things like that. So but I learned the hard way. I got really big eating pasta and sandwiches. Just have a nice little sandwich. And I went the complete opposite. So I've done a lot with food, and because I like cooking as well, I've always experimented. I do have the odd pasta, if I go out.
Well, you are human.
Yeah, and I do, and I love it. But then what I do find, as soon as I've had one meal of a pasta or bread, it's like a slippery slope. I just end up eating it all week, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, quickly get back on the patches, and away I go. So it's all been good. It's I just wish there's so much stuff that I've done now that I wish I'd done when I was younger, because
I know. I mean, but anyway, no woulds, coulds, or shoulds. No. This is where we are now. With
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to share?
I can't think of anything else. I think I've just given you my whole life story there, Andrena.
That's all right. Yeah, but people are interested. You're walking your talk, you're dreaming your dream, and you're sharing your love with passion.
Yeah, I just think the one thing I probably would like to say, I mean, as I said, I'm 56, and I will always say to people, you're never too late to follow a dream. Yeah, I mean, like I said, yes, in hindsight, if I'd have started this when I was 25 years old, who knows where I'd be now. But I think, what I've learned and what I've brought into the business is probably the experiences that I've had in my life for me to make it work, because, I'm very passionate about it. There's been a couple of times where I think I'm done, and then something pops up. It's like even you popping up, it was like, oh, hold on, let's get some air views here, because I think what happened was as well, I was doing these big shows, and I was getting sort of inquiries from the big companies, and as I said, then sort of 3 months later I was seeing it in their stores. So for me, I think now I want to become again a bit more inclusive to myself, rather than putting it out for the whole world to see and copy, because nobody wants to see their stuff, the cheaper brands and things like that, especially when you work so hard with it. It's very it can be very demoralizing. But that's one of my best pieces, that was so glittery. But it's all been it's been a learning curve, definitely. But I've got 2 boys, so they're not going to carry this on. No. So I need that granddaughter that's going to go and say, Nanny, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
I need a little inspiration there, but
because didn't you share something about your son doing a bit of filming or acting or something?
So the little one, Thomas, he's got his sunglasses company. Let's have a little look what he's got here, which is called IC. So he's only 22, but he lives the life in Ibiza.
Yeah, well, so why not? You only live once.
Yeah, of course. But he does all these fun little glasses, perfect for people on the beach. So anyway, so he's living it up in Ibiza, the party land. And he started this company about 2 years ago. So whenever he goes away, well, even when he's not away, because he's very, he doesn't live here, but he's very conveniently left all the stock here.
Oh, of course.
So when the orders come in, Mummy does them, you know. It's like he just sends them through, you know, just like sends it through in a WhatsApp. Oh, you got 12 orders today. I'm like, I mean, this morning I literally woke up this morning, there's another 13 orders. I'm like, this is getting busy. You know, but it is fun. You know, he does work full time as well. So this is just a little, but you know, I think it's putting the work ethic into them when they're young, you know. So he's always seen me work, he's always seen his dad work, you know, so they want to do loads of other things. You know what kids are like now with Instagram? It's like, oh, what's the new trend? And they're all jumping on it. So it's a full functioning working room, this. It's got every business in it, from sunglasses to diet patches to golden drops to sapphire blue. What else have we got going on in here? What else? Just about anything, really. If it could be sold, then I'll sell it, including your grandmother.
Yeah.
You can have her as well. But, yeah.
Well, that's been an absolute delight. I'm really glad I asked you, and thank you for your sharing, because it's been so colourful and vibrant, and I love all the colours. I love what you're doing, and I love like the sparkles and the bells. And so at some point I'll have to come over and
you're going to have to come over, and I'm going to get you in that room. And you're going to try it all on, and then you're going to, and then we're going to take loads of pictures of you.
Yeah, but I won't look like these 6 foot women. You
honestly, you will look stunning. Any single person looks stunning in them. They really do.
All right, you're on. Oh, okay. Well, if there's nothing else, no, it's been honestly an absolute delight. So thank you, and wish you all the luck in the world with all what you're doing. So it's all credit to you. So thank you, everybody. And
thank you, Jeffrey and Andrena.
Next week, we're not quite sure what's happening next week, because Jeff's going up to Harvey Bay, he's going on a whale trip, so it might be from the boat. We haven't decided yet, have we? Because it's the 8-8 portal. Yeah, on the back of a whale. Moby Dick.
Don't say that.
The picture behind me is where we're going.
Yes, lovely, beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, so well, thanks for being allowed to come into the female locker room tonight, girls.
Thank you.
Yeah, these colours are bloody awesome. Although I have to say, in Australia we get a lot of Africans, and the ladies, they wear their big long dresses, and they're full of colour, aren't they? Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I was going to do a sort of collection, because ideally when I first started, what I wanted to do was do different countries. So it was going to have a chapter. You know, I was going to do, because also in India you've got different saris, different fabrics in different areas like Rajasthan, and you know, so that was what we were trying to do. But as I said, it's all got put on. It is something maybe we'll do later on. But yeah,
so you saying about that? So it's like each different country in India. Have they got their own sort of unique colour?
Yes, they have. So they've got their own different
tribal sort of.
Yeah, some of them are quite tribal. A lot of mirrors, you know, a lot of trinkets, a lot of royal blues, reds, and yellows, and you know, you can tell what part of India you're going to by what they're wearing. Really? You know, so again, it is something I am going to look at doing, but obviously once we get bigger. But yeah, it's just the wealth of colour over there. You literally go over there, the colours just knock you out, the smell knocks you out, the dust. You know, people think, oh, it's going to be dirty. No, it's just there's such a warmth over there. It's incredible. It's really, really incredible.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you once again, and thank you, everybody. Same time, same place next week.
Not with me though.
Well, you never know.
Have a great day and a great evening in Australia.
Right. You want me to play that little...
Yeah, that's the whole point of me getting that all organised. Cool.
You've been told, Jeffrey.
Exactly. I get told and I have to do all the work.
Yeah.
You love it. Go on.